Peekaboo! Can you see it? There it goes! Camouflage is a wonderful phenomenon. It helps animals hide from dangerous predators or lurk extremely close to their prey while waiting for just the right moment to lunge, snatch, or attack. For some creatures, camouflage is the one advantage they've got over all other animals and the key to their survival on this planet. Even our militaries have adopted the concepts of camouflage to gain an edge over the enemy. But nobody does it better than nature itself. Are you ready to meet these masters of disguise? Welcome to another episode. Today, we're counting down 10 sneaky camouflage animals you'd never notice. And if you can't see this lizard, then make sure you stick around for number 1 to meet what could very well be nature's most masterful camouflage artist. Let's get started. Number 10. Malaysian leaf insect. Deep in the tropical forests of Malaysia lurks a true master of disguise, the giant Malaysian leaf insect. These tiny titans occupy the forest canopy, where, to no surprise, they dine on the leaves of tropical fruit plants, while going completely unnoticed to the eyes by the hungry beaks of forest-dwelling birds. Their unusual bodies convey an image of leaf rather than insect, by presenting a greatly flattened and expanded abdomen and further leaf-looking plates on their legs. Even though they appear to be 99% leaf and 1% insect, going unnoticed is no small feat, considering these guys can grow to an enormous length of 4 inches. Hats off to the Malaysian leaf insect, but if you want to see a real master of disguise, wait until you meet the gecko at number 1. Number 9. Vietnamese mossy frog. Not only do these guys look spectacular, they're pretty hard to see at all in their natural environment. Vietnamese mossy frogs greatly resemble a clump of moss thanks to their green color, black spots, invisible tubercles, and spines. They hide in basins of water found in crevices with only their eyes protruding to keep an eye on their surroundings. Not only do their mossy bodies allow them to keep a watchful eye on predators, but they also let them get close to some of their favorite prey, such as large insects and crickets. Yum. Number 8. Pink pygmy seahorse. Let's play Spot the Pygmy Seahorse. Can you see it? How about now? Pygmy seahorses are without a doubt one of the ocean's most masterful camouflagers. As whole species, seahorses have existed for well over 20 million years, but these little guys have been so good at hiding themselves among their pink colorings that scientists only discovered them by accident some 50 years ago when examining one of their homes in a lab. At just 2 centimeters long, these tiny creatures are no longer than a paperclip. What's even more impressive is that a scuba diver once came across a swarm of yellow-colored pygmy seahorses in lighter-colored coralline, which suggests these animals have evolved to adapt their color based on the corals they live in. Number 7. Great rockfish. Is it a rock? Is it a fish? Neither. It's a great rockfish, also known as elongated rockfish, slender scorpionfish, or stingfish. Rockfish are masters of camouflage who lie still while waiting for their victims to come close, before lunging forward and inhaling them with their large mouths. Some rockfish also have venomous spines that protrude along their backs, which can be toxic poison if stepped on. While not deadly, the world's most venomous fish is a close relative to the rockfish, known as the stonefish. These guys can inject a venom that is capable of killing an adult person in less than an hour. Dangerous and hard to find as they may be, several fishermen will tell you they're well worth their search, considering an average serving of rockfish has nearly 33 grams of protein and is full of healthy, brain-boosting omega-3 fatty acids. Plus, rockfish is an excellent source of vitamin D and potassium, making it a nutrient-rich dish that tastes good. Number 6. Leafy sea dragon. Looking almost like some fancy aquarium plant, leafy sea dragons are charismatic creatures native to the southern coast of Australia. Though they look a lot like seahorses, studies show they're actually more closely related to pipefishes. It's very likely they're a cross between these two groups of fishes. Unlike the great rockfish, leafy sea dragons rely on their camouflage to avoid predators, as they are very poor swimmers. They're clearly named after their plant-like appearance, which allows them to carefully blend in with any algae that grow in the seagrass beds and the rocky reefs where they live. This is just perfect, seeing as they feed primarily on tiny plankton crustaceans found among those plants. Before we move on, here's a quick challenge for you. If you can leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and turn on the notifications in less than 5 seconds, you will have 10 years of amazing luck. Hurry up and try it. It actually works. Number 5. Eastern Screech Owl. With skilled predators like the Eastern Screech Owl, it's no wonder leaf and stick insects have evolved to adapt. Its gray and brown feathers blended seamlessly with the surrounding tree bark. Even when the owl perches on a branch, it is still difficult to distinguish it from a broken snag. The Eastern Screech Owl is a master of disguise, sometimes positioning itself within a tree cavity to rest during the day. Even the color of its eyes blends in perfectly and would never give it away. When hidden like this, they're hard for even experienced birdwatchers to find. Would you be able to spot the Eastern Screech Owl? Number 4. Mountain Hare. As the saying goes, when you see a polar bear, it's probably too late. Luckily, the same doesn't apply when you meet a mountain hare. But just like polar bears, these guys use their white fluff to blend in with the snowy backdrop of their environments. If it weren't for their dark eyes, you might not see them at all until you're up real close. And good for them. After all, unlike polar bears, these guys are the farthest thing from an apex predator. Mountain hares are typically prey animals, providing a rich food source for a variety of predators, including golden eagles and wildcats. However, the biggest threat to mountain hares are we humans. They serve as game for hunters in some mountainous areas, and are occasionally killed for sport too. Number 3. Deadleaf Butterfly. Sometimes a predator is too fast and dangerous to escape. It's just best to play dead. Well, this butterfly took it a step further by evolving to resemble a dead leaf. Also known as the orange oak leaf or Indian oak leaf, the deadleaf butterfly is a tropical Asian beauty found anywhere from India to Japan. With its wings closed, it perfectly resembles a dry leaf with dark veins and is therefore a spectacular and prime example of skillful camouflage. Number 2. Sand crab. Meet the sand crab. No bigger than a human thumb, sand crabs spend most of their time buried in the shifting sands, camouflaged by their gray shell. You'll have an easier time finding a needle in a haystack. Like other crabs, these guys burrow quickly and often stay put in the sand while keeping their balance with the help of their heavily armored, curved bodies and pointy legs. You'd think God gave these guys an unfair advantage to the rest of their kind when he gave them mad camouflage skills. But when you hear what else makes these sand crawlers so different, you'll probably agree that it's really just a fair trade-off in the end. A sand crab can only move backward. Oh, and a sand crab has no claws on its first pair of legs. Another unusual feature for a crab, and quite a drawback. Would you trade in your claws for some pretty neat camouflage? Let us know in the comments below. Number 1. Leaf-tailed gecko. Finally, you get to meet what is arguably one of the most masterful camouflagers in the world, the leaf-tailed gecko. Can you see it yet? These satanic-looking lizards are indigenous to the island of Madagascar and come in all sorts of leaf-colored shades from green to brown to orange. They're best known for their leaf-like tails, but that's just the first of a long list of camouflage these guys possess. Leaf-tailed geckos can change their colors to match those of their environment, as well as the shapes and vegetation of the forests they inhabit. They also use the fringed flaps on their lower jaws and the sides of their bodies to flatten against any surface, completely obscuring their outline. With these adaptations, leaf-tailed geckos can almost completely camouflage against dry leaves or the bark of trees. Oh, and have we mentioned just how quiet reptiles can be? In our books, these guys are the most well-rounded camouflage animal on planet Earth, and perhaps the #1 masters of disguise. And that's it for the 10 sneakiest camouflage animals you'd never recognize.